aggressive these teams have been getting.
Yeah, really, so many engagements in the early phases. You just got to keep our eye on, once again, whether or not we're going to see the Expendables and Archangel Predator continue this scrap all throughout, particularly tomorrow as we have 3 games of Miramar. The flight path this time may be leaning away from it, and Archangel Predator have actually come off the better of the hot drop, but opted not to get involved this time around. They're sticking towards the south coast, not too far away from where E-Arena are doing a little bit of a wide split down towards Val Del Mar and the surround. It's a huge thing in APAC. The player base, the support is there, and it's good to see that in OCE that can still reflect as well.
KM9, oh, this could be dangerous for Archangel Predator, but they knew that door was open. They had a feeling something was happening. Nan, but the final second lands a shot from range, and well, that's the end of him. And
some space further into the zone, sees the zone shift back in their favor, and tried to go back to their initial compound, but it was already occupied, already taken. Jervis baited by the bike, but still lands the shot on Trick. That's the man who just dumpstered Canaxi in the game before. This time just couldn't make it work, but Jayhend from Icarus Cyber will take the third party with the flush for free. Sure, why not? Shen, this range with a 4x scope on the M4. Sure, why not? And well, from the future, really getting sat down up close and personal from SGD. Shen with a headshot forced to pull back into a more defensive position, but they're not picking up the kill points, getting third-partied and stolen left, right, and center. Hymas as possible on the phase 4, the land ratio shift. Archangel Predator on Miramar so far has just been a battle in the early game. It's just constant. Left, right, and center. CJ with long-range shots. Oh, Levi is being pushed down, but CJ is being pushed on foot by KMF. Oh, he just goes to blow the door off and try and peek him. A jump peek through the window, just milliseconds away from landing, but Pete's grenade, inch perfect, and KMF not very early in our final game.
Really unfortunate as Buram try and avoid the same fate. They open up. Patampong does the same on to New Generation. As Diane tries to get away from it safely. Nades come through as Sheikzing will be the first to fall from Buram. That's actually from a third party, though, not from New Generation. As New Generation themselves get third party, this time by Patampong, eliminating Young B and importantly flushing out Diane. It leaves only Neil left up to try and make something happen, but it just isn't working. Vanny is nowhere to be found, and look, it keeps the squad in it, but how many points can you really salvage with still 13 other teams remaining?
Remember the last time there was a straight 4v4 fight with nobody third-partying in an APAC event? No, me neither. This time it's just crazy. Every single time someone commits to a fight in the compound, and believe me, they will commit. We're seeing it here. Well, every time there's always a team ready to pounce and get some third-party. Opportunistic poachers is really the theme of APAC, but PCS7, it's a similar situation to what T5 had in PCS6, but a little bit sketchy maneuvers as well for Theraton 5. Speak of the devil as they just make a full send in towards some dips alongside Cerberus, and New Generation as well will contribute because of course we're going to be third partying, but grenades is all that it takes. Tycon with 3 kills onto T5, and Cerberus just continuing their streak of tyranny.
Sololzy tries to throw out a nade to find even more damage, and that's exactly what he does. Eddie going to be pinned inside of this shack as Hymus tries to thread the needle with the nade. Can it get through the window? It's just outside this time. The Molotov, though, well, that's dead on. Eddie's going to be out of it in no time as Duadra tries to turn things around, but it's just not happening. Van Yee also with the third party can't spot out Canaxi. Just a little bit too much cover, but Cerberus, they should be aware that these players have made a move, and now that Nordrum tries to regroup, he's going to be taken out as well. It's AT to shut that one down as New Generation fall. Cerberus finally don't have to worry about the third party from behind. Hymus hops out through the smoke, playing sneaky through it, hoping to catch Canaxi off guard, and honestly, with the way that both of these Buram players are looking, he might just be able to do that. Never mind, because Eddie takes down Hymus before being traded out from range by AT. Sololzy falls as well. Canaxi, the only player left from Buram, low HP, tries to keep him in it, but Tyken in the end spots him through the smoke and finishes off the job. It's Buram out in 12th, but you've got to think Cerberus are going to be getting third-partied as well as PMA going down.
PMA, the team that was looking to hold out Arena from that ridge line, is the team to be removed as well. 7 kills on the board for Arena. I tried to get a chance to praise them and say they've done really well on their debut so far. First day, 3rd place, and it looks like they're going to remain there right now with 37, potentially even overtaking SGD if they can outlast them. But given their position in the zone and SGD's position, maybe unlikely, but there is a lot of teams encroaching on SGD's territory right now. Icarus Cyber having Team Bliss creep up behind them into grenade range as well on the low ground. Could be treacherous turf for them, but Daytrade now finally going to commit to this push to remove the expendables from the dips that have been troubling them for a while. And the Molotov will spread just enough onto Ninja 2K. Daytrade with a 3K.
Tried to go for a bit of a high ground, maybe get an angle through the roof. It doesn't work out, though. Leo takes down one as SGD, even with 3 players, are coming out on top of this fight. MS Chamburi, though, trying to move through, and it's Job Jab to take down Jervis early on. It's all onto Sophia and Leo, the 2 remaining players, but they are pinched as Genius continue to push in from the opposite side.
Well, if we can't say third party in APAC, I don't know where we can. E-Arena finally removed. Daytrade, the shots from range. Belmont to claim both of them. Genius Esport, it's a pretty genius tactical maneuver to just not be in that compound anymore. Going for the full disengage. Norins will punish Sophia with a headshot as he tries to just pick them off from range as they make a move. But look at Leo, he's just sending it towards them, and he's got grenades from MS Chamburi flying down the hillside as well. That's an aggressive bounce, but not quite far enough. Julio still lurking, watching over the top. Watchful eyes, making sure that SGD's exit from this compound is not an easy one. A Job Jab to the side to really make it difficult too.
MSC is just tearing this one apart. Down go SGD. They get themselves a placement point, couple kills out of it. Nothing to regret, as now they need to just hope that Daytrade don't close the gap, and more importantly, Cerberus don't extend it. Nades are coming out, and that seems to have bounced close, unfortunately. Not right just this time. Belmoth gets the flush onto Yuta, as he will be getting spotted out by Skeet instead. Nade ready to follow. He knows where Simon is, but it might have been cooked just a little bit too long. Yet again, not bouncing the way that MSC would have hoped, and therefore not really converting into any points. MSC need to get off this hillside relatively quickly to make it in. As Sololzi, even as a solo, takes down AT, and more nades looking to follow.
FAP is so incredibly low. That grenade lands directly on his feet as well. Sololzi, last man standing, is doing so much damage to Icarus Cyber and Cerberus. You just can never count them out. It's not going to be 4 wins on the day, or maybe it is. Norins has just rescued him with a long-range MK shot onto J-End. There's still a lot of work to be done for Sololzi, but he's been given a lifeline, and Y8, he's just had his removed. Shots coming in, but Sololzi is up and on his feet. He's still putting the damage in. Bryn, you see him on the minimap. Just those red circles of damage coming through, and of course Sololzi's going to convert it. But that's a big grenade from Mirage. Gets the knock on 2 of MS Chamburi and makes it a realistic possibility they can win this fight.
And this is the opening that Bliss really needed, getting themselves some opening knocks, but as Insight falls, it looks like the rest of the squad are to follow. 5th place for them. Just not getting the points that they are looking for. Bliss, it feels like recently there's been a change in strategy from one where they will go for kills and dominate the zone to making sure not to overexpose himself here. Same being said for both. Phase 8 gonna pop. This is technically our final zone of the circle, even if not our final phase. Shaman tries to spray through the smoke. I thought he was going to be able to pull it off, and he might just be able to with the zone closing in. It actually pulls down towards Sololzi, though, so he doesn't really have to change from his position. He can let Daytrade deal with MS Chamburi.
Really going to have to try and make something happen. He's just trying to make it over to the shack now for a little bit of more solid cover from up above, but MSC more than happy to just spam into the smokes. They've got ample ammo and plenty of bodies to loot for more up top. He will make it inside the shack itself and just keep his head down, but some grenades are going to fly in from range. It's just off target, not going to make it into the doorway, but there's more where it came from. Ridge that they have to make a move down, but if I'm MS Chamburi, I'm pretty happy just to let Daytrade push over there get those Molotovs into the shack before you make the move, but no, they're going to go for it immediately. Full send down the vehicle, APAC style. And they're going to take that center zone.
But Jarman's just been caught with a massive flashbang. Solozzi actually opts to deny the points. I think that if he knew MSC were pushing through, it would have been a different decision. Julio has kind of resigned himself to going out right now to the zone as he tries to provide that fire support. It's just not going to be there. Skeet caught with the flashbang as Jarman tries to swing round wide, but Julio getting flushed out. Belmont throwing out the flashes. You've got to wonder how long can they really remain in it. And in the end, not too long after all, it's Day Trade getting themselves a chick in long time of waiting, moving themselves a considerable margin in that leaderboard, but ultimately it's Cerberus who steal the show again, getting into the late game and throwing that lead further.
Well, it's a classic Day Trade maneuver, slow and steady, controlled play style. It takes them a little while to get up into the swing of things, but once they're there, it is